It's January 1993, and with Alive taking a bite out of the box office, it's a bad time to go to the theater if you have a fear of flying. But a pretty good month if you're into unorthodox meal recommendations. This was also the month when the Elvis stamp went on sale. Robert Rodriguez found low-budget success with El Mariachi. President Bill Clinton was inaugurated. And the Heights wondered, how do you talk to an angel when they really should have been asking, how do you keep your TV show on the air? But I'm not trying to catch a falling star because today we're going to be counting down die-hard game fans' top 37 games of January 1993. Strive to survive.
This is my kid brother. He loves his Reese's, as you can see. But, well, he eats it real weird. How do you do that, Raj?
There are wacky things at the Wacky Warehouse Mall.
Hanging at the mall, the Wacky Warehouse Mall. David Robinson!
I saw you eating Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
You eat this too?
Watch me.
Starting off our list at number 37 is GunForce on the Super Nintendo. Okay, this game has been displayed at the last two CESs, and this is the final product? What are these guys thinking? This game shows off the awesome flicker and slowdown Nintendo has to offer. I think Irem and THQ are neighbors. Very poor graphics and the worst music top off this fine cart. Good job. Number 36, Whirlo on the Super Nintendo. Whirlo is about as much fun as a root canal. In fact, the dentist actually sounds better. In an attempt to be unique, Namco's imagination went a little overboard and they made a bizarre little green jello demon with equally bizarre controls. The game has a lot of variety, but drags on a bit too long for me. I'm sure some will like it. Number 35, Crue Ball on the Genesis. Excuse me, but where are the Crue dudes? I only hear 3 tunes and it wasn't exactly pumpin' metal. Other than that, you've got an okay pinball game with good graphics, but not enough backgrounds and characters. The coolest part is the headbanger in the easy chair. Give me an action game with him in it. Number 34, Battle Clash on the Super Nintendo. Right, left, shoot. Right, left, shoot, 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 right, left, shoot. Oh my eyes! Somebody give me an Alka-Seltzer. Number 33, Night Trap on the Sega CD. If I want to watch a movie, I'll go to Blockbuster. Although what it does well, there's just not enough in terms of gameplay. The plus side is that it has near TV quality full motion video. The minus is that it's just plain boring. Number 32, Pro Yakyuu Super League CD on the Sega CD. Somebody give me a pillow, I think I'm going to sleep. Besides the scaling intro, nothing here says CD. I mean, it's a good game of baseball, but this is a CD. I want scaling, man. I'll go rake the leaves. Maybe something exciting will happen. Number 31, Battle Soccer, Field No Hasha on the Super Nintendo. A winner for both soccer and SD fans alike. Battle Soccer uses crisp graphics, good gameplay, and bright colors. Not likely to arrive on these shores, but it's definitely an import to check out. Number 30, Gain Ground on the TurboDuo. I wasn't a big fan of the original Gain Ground because the characters were so small and the game seemed to move slowly. However, with the transition to CD comes bigger characters and a faster game. Due to those additions, Gain Ground is more playable and comes across as an average action shooter. Number 29, Lotus Turbo Challenge on the Genesis. After playing Road Rash 2, it's hard to review a driving game. While not bad at all, it just doesn't come close to EA's King of Racers, but it is pretty smooth and has some nice fog effects. Definitely an above average driver. Number 28, Black Hole Assault on the Sega CD. As one of the few people who liked Heavy Nova, you pretty much know that I'm also gonna like Black Hole Assault. I really like robots. Although simpler in mechanics than the likes of Street Fighter 2, the character art and awesome backgrounds make it a great game. The only drawbacks are the intermissions, stiff and corny. Number 27, Hit the Ice on the TurboDuo. Part hockey and part fighting, Hit the Ice stands out as one of the best sports games for the Turbo. It's especially fun for 2 players. The graphics and sound effects are great for a Hue card, and I had a lot of fun with this one. Isn't that what it's all about, isn't it? Number 26, Seirei Senshi Spriggan on the TurboDuo. Spriggan 1 was one of the best shooters on the original CD-ROM format back in 1990. However, after playing Part 2 and seeing Cotton and the new Darius on Super CD, I now find it to just be above average. Number 25, Q*bert 3 on the Super Nintendo. Wow, the Super Nintendo really shows what 11 years can do to a game. The new backgrounds and colors are a big improvement, and the control and lasting power is excellent. A definite must for all Q*bert freaks. Number 24, Roadrunner's Death Valley Rally on the Super Nintendo. Who needs Saturday morning cartoons when you can just pop in a cartridge and play one, complete with all the sight gags? This game is filled with some of the best graphics and multi-layered scrolls, plus all the sound effects you'd expect sampled right from the tunes. Difficult control is my only complaint. Number 23, Blazers vs. Bulls and the NBA Playoff on the Super Nintendo. Same game, different title. Super Nintendo owners get a taste of EA's popular basketball games with Bulls vs. Blazers. If you haven't played the Genesis version, then this will be a real treat with slams, jams, and fast-paced action. Personally, I've seen it too many times. Come on, guys, adding a new move doesn't make it a new game. Number 22, Chakan, the Forever Man on the Genesis. Please, do not judge this game until you get to the elemental stages. If other magazines bang on Chakan, it's because they couldn't get there. Although average at first, Chakan gets awesome as you progress and has a surprise ending that I've been waiting for. I can't wait for the CD sequel. Number 21, Bonanza Bros on the TurboDuo. I was slightly disappointed with the Genesis version of this game. It was fun, but wasn't close enough to the Quarter Cruncher. This new version on CD is almost identical, packing in all the fun I expect from Bonanza Brothers. This is the most fun you'll ever have stealing. Good job, NEC. Number 20, NBA All-Stars Challenge on the Super Nintendo. Basketball games have come a long way since those 8-bit days, baby. Acclaim delivers the best one yet with NBA All-Stars. All the pros are here, along with some of the best graphics on the Super Nintendo. The reflection on the floor is totally cool. Basketball has never been so great. Number 19, Alpha Mission 2 on the Neo Geo. I like shooters, therefore I love Alpha Mission 2. Only the Neo Geo can give me the incredible detail in every aspect of a game that I crave. You simply can't compare a Neo Geo shooter to another system. It's not as good as Viewpoint, but better than Last Resort. A definite must. Find it.
This is a mouth-watering megabyte chunk of bubble yum bubblegum.
And this is a virtual reality cyberspace simulator.
Both really get you into the game.
Blowfish at 10 o'clock.
I'm there. Eat some laser, pal.
Twin your tail. Heads up.
I'm hit. Going down.
The big feature that dominated this issue of Die Hard Game Fan was a 7-page fighting game spread looking at the biggest games in the genre. At first glance, it's almost indistinguishable from their typical fighting game coverage, as we see a pretty typical preview of Fatal Fury that compares the Neo Geo original with the recently released console ports. We also get the usual previews of Japanese fighting games that either won't come to the US or will be reskinned and called something completely different. Where things begin to change is when we get to this full-page list of art of fighting moves, something that was uncharacteristic for Game Fan. They also printed these Pro Action replay codes for Street Fighter 2. which is the kind of thing you would usually see in their Hocus Pocus section, where they usually keep all the cheat codes. Now, the reason I want to showcase this spread is because of the final analysis at the end. Here we see 5 of the game fan critics score 9 of the hottest fighting games. Some of these they have reviewed or will review in the normal section, while others are only scored here in this review roundup. The interesting outcome is that Street Fighter II does not come out on top. As GameFan puts it, although the only perfect score went to Street Fighter II, to our surprise, after over 200 hours of gameplay, the overall winner is Art of Fighting. We all became totally addicted to the fast action, awesome sound effects, and smooth scaling. In case you're wondering, Brass Numbers was the magazine's worst reviewed fighting game. What, you never heard of it? Well, perhaps you know it by its American name, Doomsday Warrior. It doesn't even come close to the greatness of Art of Fighting. And we're back with number 18, Congo's Caper on the Super Nintendo. Congo's Caper is a straight Mario-style action platform game. The character reminds me of Joe and Mac, but he's faster and more animated. The stages are well designed, and one of the bosses is full screen, and the music has a real prehistoric feel. For a forum magger, Congo's Caper is a surprisingly good game. Number 17, Firepower 2000 on the Super Nintendo. Not just another shooter. These graphics could only be found on the Neo Geo. Firepower 2000 is extremely well done and offers fun and diversity not found in today's boring shooters. It's even 2 players and has great music. Can't be saying this about a shooter. Yep. Number 16, Spriggan Mark II Re-Terraform Project on the TurboDuo. As a big fan of compile shooters, I anxiously awaited this one, as there hasn't been a really good shooter for Super CD in a long time, even though there have been so many shooters. This game has everything that I look for in a great shooter, and stands out as one of the best shooters on the system. You can't go wrong with compile. Number 15, Sengoku 2 on the Neo Geo. Here it is, another fighting game on the Neo Geo. When will it end? Although graphically incredible, you'll beat it in the first hour and quickly look for a place to rent Neo Geo games. If these guys ever get an original idea, call me. I'll be waiting. Not to beg profusely, but I really need a driving game, a role-playing game. Number 14, Sewer Shark on the Sega CD. Sony is on the cutting edge once again. Sewer Shark is impressive, especially with this being one of the first titles for the CD-ROM. The level of interaction is exceptional, as you're constantly being told where to turn while blasting mutated sewer vermin. And the full motion video is smooth. Bad music, why not CD? Number 13, Chuck Rock on Game Gear. The only thing missing in this Game Gear version of Chuck Rock is the background. Other than that, it has all the look and feel of the original. And the password feature. A definite must for Chuck fans. Number 12, Nobunaga and his Ninja Force on Sega CD. Pump up the volume and strap yourself in, cause this shooter gives you the ride of your life. Nobunaga is non-stop excitement and one of the best shooters of the year. What a way to follow up Musha. And finally, a game that makes use of the Mega CD's scaling abilities. Great game. Number 11, Alien 3 on the Game Gear. Here's another great new game on the Game Gear. Acclaim has managed to keep this pretty faithful to the Genesis version. They even managed to throw in scrolls. Harry says that he takes this one on long journeys, so it must be hard. Good stuff. Number 10, Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse on Super Nintendo. Mickey's Magical Quest has Capcom written all over it. The game itself is a little too short, but it's packed with so much quality that you'll hardly notice. With colorful graphics set to mood-setting music, Magical Quest is an exceptional game and another fine action title from the programmers at Capcom. Number 9, Blues Journey on Neo Geo. Thanks to me, this game finally made it in. Blues Journey never got the recognition it deserved as one of the best action platform games ever on a home system. The graphics and colors will blow you away, and the gameplay is fun and unique. I'd like to see more games like this on the Neo Geo. Enough with the fighters. Number 8, Streets of Rage on the Game Gear. Streets of Rage comes to the Game Gear, and believe it or not, it's a pretty faithful translation of the Genesis version. The only drawbacks we found was the absence of the police car power-up and the option to pick Adam. They did, however, manage to squeeze in the Yuzo tunes, Axel and Blaze's trademark moves, and even a scroll or two. This version also features all the colors and background scenery that made the Genesis version such a hit. Another great feature is the 2-player link option. Definitely recommended. Number 7, Super Mario Kart. Nintendo doesn't release their own games that often, but when they do, they're destined to become an instant classic. This is the case with Mario Kart. It's 2-player F-Zero meets Mario Land, and the competition is fierce. Plus, you get the option for different speed settings and a one-on-one battle mode. It's a must-have. Number 6, World of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck on the Genesis. World of Illusion is sure to go down in history as one of the best cartridge games of all time, and certainly one of the best 2-player games ever made. World of Illusion gives you 3 games in one, all of which mirror the magic of Disney all the way. Number 5, the Super Shinobi 2 on Genesis. This seems to be Sega's season for sequels that outdo their originals, and Shinobi 2 is no exception. This game has all the playability of the original, plus a cool set of new moves. The graphics are sharp and detailed, and the animation is flawless. This game must be played. Oh yes, it must. Number 4, Road Blasters on Sega CD. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. These are my type of games. I loved Time Gal and Thunderstorm, and Road Blasters is the best, adding even more interaction. This is a non-stop roller coaster ride that keeps you on the edge of your seat, and the animation and graphics are awesome. Renovation and Wolf Team, incredible. Number 3, Streets of Rage 2 on the Genesis. Streets of Rage 2 shows what the power of 16 meg can do on the Genesis. This long-awaited sequel is the best side-scrolling fighter I've ever played, with huge characters, hard-hitting sound effects, sharp graphics, and music only Yuzo can deliver. 2 new characters join the fight for the best fighting sequel of 1992. Number 2, Prince of Persia on the Game Gear. A lot of the review staff at GameFan feel like this version of Prince of Persia is better than the Sega CD version. With smooth animation and great control, all that's missing is the music. For a Game Gear game, this is a real masterpiece. And finally, die-hard game fans' best reviewed game of January 1993, Landstalker on the Genesis. Climax brings the best action and role-playing together, creating the perfect action RPG. You remain glued to the game from the moment you turn it on. Comparing it to other action RPGs on cartridge, I have to give it a perfect 100%. I don't think anything on cartridge will ever come close.
When you get up in the morning and you want some tasty fun.
Go for Sugar Bear and Golden Crisp, the golden tasting one.
She's R-S-H-E-Y. She's the original. Here's the reason why. Cause there ain't nothing, nothing gooey. Just pure milk chocolate, nothing else will do it.
There's still no sign of the monitor inside of the pages of Die Hard Game Fan, but another magazine staple did show up this issue. I'm of course talking about the Postmeister, an overworked postman with a frazzled look and psychotic demeanor. And you don't have to take that description from me, because within the first paragraph, he threatens to break into your house and steal your mail. Why? Because he's crazy! For the most part, the letters to Postmeister were what you'd expect from a new magazine. Don called Game Fan totally awesome and praised the editors for giving quality space to Sega, Turbo, and Neo Geo. Keith, on the other hand, called the magazine the most progressive, and then asked a bunch of questions about Street Fighter II and the TurboGrafx 16. And then there's Cord, who basically lays out the mantra for the Die Hard Game Fan reader. We want pictures, release dates, honest reviews, originality, humor, and a few surprises to keep us guessing. I'm mostly showing this letter to remind younger gamers that people have been demanding honest reviews for at least 3 decades, probably longer. Look, I don't care if it's 1992 or 2022. Gamers have always been quick to accuse critics of being paid off or dishonest. Keep that in mind as we continue our journey through the pages of Die Hard Game Fan. And now, a peaceful moment brought to you by Die Hard Game Fan. So, the real question is Night Trap your kind of game? Well, as an action RPG and shooting gamer, my opinion is, for $59, you can't go wrong. Even though the stuff is quite mild, it's a great effort, and if just from a technical standpoint, it's cool to see what the CD can do. And if you don't like it, somebody in your house probably will. Or you can whip it out at holidays and show Grandpa. Who knows, maybe you'll recruit one of the old guys. Oh no, does that mean that I have to start saying fun for the whole family? Where's my Sonic? Hey, thanks for watching this 3rd episode of Die Hard Game Fan's Best and Worst. If you liked what you saw here, then you'll be happy to know that we're going to be doing like another year or 2 of this. Seriously, there are a lot of issues. In fact, next Monday's episode is going to be a special 1992 award show feature, which let me tell you is every bit as loony as the rest of this Die Hard Game Fan stuff. Now, here's the question I have for you. Well, where's my Sonic? By the way, no, I did not edit that peaceful moment quote. It really does go from suggesting that Night Trap is fun for the whole family to asking about Sonic. Yeah, that's the kind of scattered brain writing that makes Die Hard Game Fan so much fun. In other news, we'll be back later this week with my review of Serial Cleaners and that new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles compilation that everybody seems to be talking about. If that sounds good to you, then I strongly recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then,